Hello, welcome back to this Thriving in Canada series. I'd like to congratulate you on making a decision either to migrate to Canada or if you have already boarded your flight and landed here. At the end of last episode, I was talking about success. Success means different things for different people. The definition of success might vary from person to person depending upon their background, their interests, and what they want to achieve. Uh, but there is one common thing that makes every one of us successful here in Canada. Remember that we are all in a new environment, so we are all in a new culture, striving to become successful in a new, completely new setup. So, what makes us successful? So, when I came into Canada, so what I realized or what I noticed is the success here doesn't come either by hard work or by smart work, like we all know, right? So because, like I said, we are all in a new environment, probably you might find a lot of differences between the way you have grown up or the situations that you have seen back home versus what you're going to see here will be completely different. For example, you see a lot of diverse people around you. So one of the biggest cultural shocks that I saw is me being an introvert. Uh, uh, when a stranger looks at us and gives us a smile, at the beginning it was a little awkward for me because I don't know why they are smiling at me. But as the days progressed, I learned that that is the culture here. So Canada is more welcoming in culture, and they respect people. So I lately I have learned that no, I have to reciprocate to their welcoming gesture of smile with another smile. So eventually it made me improve the way I smile at people. So these are some small things that we may not notice in our day-to-day life, but those are few things that makes us successful. So I remember a time when I started my first job in a company, and I saw a lot of diversity in that organization. So the people are from different parts of the world, and they came from different backgrounds. They carry a different, completely different set of ideas, thoughts, and what all they can bring to the organization. So when we all come here to make a life, so eventually we all get into either working at a company or starting our own business. No, whatever we are doing, remember that while technology is only enabling us, we are, at the end of the day, we are all working with other people. So which means that the most important factor that I believe that makes us successful here in Canada is understanding the Canadian culture. So when I started this job, maybe late 2018s, what I noticed is that environment, uh, and later I moved several other jobs, but everywhere what I found that's common is that the Canadian cultural environment is professional, but yet it is informal. Means when in the very first job that I started, I had a little shock that know that when a team meeting is happening, or when people are meeting in a boardroom, they are not coming to the point of the agenda why that meeting has been said, because you might experience this as well. So when your manager or someone who is running that meeting might start by asking maybe everyone, if not individually but as a group, they might open it by saying that, okay, how was your weekend, what did you do, anything interesting, instead of straight away getting into the meeting agenda, the experience that I had back home. So that is professional but informal. But again, you'll also notice that quickly they shift the topic to the professional discussions, and then they get carried. So that's the opportunity for all of us to have this small talk with other people, and build that rapport with your team, and have that interpersonal connect with the other people that we are working, either on business terms or on the employment terms. So building that relationships is very, very important in Canada. So for that reason, you need to understand the Canadian culture, which is for professional but yet informal, where the people may not directly discuss about the topic or discuss about the point straight away, where they want to build that rapport by using these small talks. So small talk was is one of the new culture that I experienced when I came into Canada. Small talk is nothing. mm, it's not so complicated. It's pretty much like, hi, how are you doing? So you find this very important as you take your kids to a play area, or as you take your kids to any of the sporting event. You might meet someone who is standing beside you, might start a conversation with you, or you might also experience some stranger might be starting talking to you in a train or in a bus. So the small talk might just start like, hey, how is it going? Right? No, so they expect you to answer. So maybe you can just choose to answer by a small response. Yeah, it's going all good. Or you can continue the conversation by adding something that, okay, weather is nice today. So how is it happening? How are you enjoying this? And also, so the conversation will continue, and eventually, believe me, that these small talks will help you build better relationship with people. Building better relationships with people is one of the key things to be successful in Canada, because when I came into Canada, my mentors have told me one thing that I still remember. They simply said, networking is your net worth, and networking gets you working. And even today, I believe that it is true, because the more you get connected with people, that is the gateway to more opportunities for you to establish yourself and then eventually grow. Alongside, I also learned that Canadian work culture is more about balancing your life and work. So we call it as life and work harmony, which means that it's not all about work. So we also have other priorities to take care, like we want to take care of our kids, we want to take care of our family. You may want to take a break from your work for a short time, so to complete some of your personal important activities. So when I say personal important activities, this reminds me that when you land in Canada, this is what is important. First, you have to get a SIN number. A SIN number is an unique identification number which is needed for you to start working and get paid for the work that you have done, either with an employer or with, like, as any contractor. Right now, SIN is a tax identification number, so which will track what is that you are earning over a period of time, and how much of taxes you are liable to pay to the government. So, for example, if you have started your work and then you want to get your SIN number done during the day, because of life and work harmony, remember that every other company or every other service in Canada works in the same time that you have your office timings, like 9 to 5, 8:30 to 4:30 kind. So, which means you may have to step out from your work to get these things done. So your manager or people working in that company very well understand this scenario, and they encourage people to have that balance between life and work. Again, maybe your kid might have a swimming class towards the end of your work day, or maybe somewhere in the middle of the work day, where you want to drive them to the swimming class and bring them back. So your employer is considerate, and many people, including the manager or the employer, are considerate, and they understand the fact that people need to balance all these things. And so they might let you take that short break, or and complete your personal work. But it is also our responsibility to make sure that we compensate that time for our employer, and get things going very smoothly. So we don't want to um, have a problem at our work being so flexible, right, in completing our personal things and giving the work a back burner seat. So Please be mindful that if you are taking that flexibility of getting things done, which I normally do during the work hours, but it is also your responsibility to make sure that you compensate that hours and ensure that your project, you are meeting all your deadlines on your project, or any other assignment that you are working on. Third is politeness. We all remember that person who is polite to us, right? Now, likewise, you wanted to be remembered by other people for being polite. So when I say polite, at work or at business, or even at college, we all need help from other people. So it is a minimum expectation, which is not an harmful expectation from other people, is to feel that other people to expect that you ask with a pleasing manner. So which means if you are writing an email for asking for any help, make sure that you're including the word like please, and make sure your tone of your email is assertive, not aggressive or not passive. So make sure you have these professional writing skills, and then you make sure that you are including this please when you are asking for help, and when you receive that help from somebody, what you are expecting for, then don't forget to thank them. So this is something that you will notice when you get out. It's quite often when you go to malls or shopping, or a grocery store, you see that Canadians say a lot of, they say thank you a lot of times for every small thing. They say thank you. So which means that if you want to be successful in this environment, you should also learn these small things like thanking for every small thing, and thanking for the help that you get. So the politeness is the new norm. So you have to be more polite to people, because that's the kind of respect they expect, and that's the kind of respect they give to you as well. So reciprocate in that by adding these small words into your writing, or into your speaking, by saying please, thank you, and anything that you think is more, uh, show more politeness to the other people. And teamwork is everything. So because people have come from different backgrounds, Canadian workplaces encourage leveraging that expertise from different backgrounds. So the teamwork is more encouraged. So teamwork is everything. So don't assume mm, or think that you can do everything on your own. You might be an expert of doing everything by yourself, except for a few household chores that every one of us have to do on ourselves, or by ourselves. At work, please make sure that you are part of a team. So you are contributing to the team, and you are an active team member, because teamwork is everything. Now that's where you see that whenever there is a gathering happening in Canadian workplaces, you see a lot of diversity, which I usually call a potluck of diversity. And when there is a potluck, is something that is pretty common. We might have seen, have been part of potluck lunches in our home country as well. So when there is a potluck, you will see a lot of diversity at the table, and you may also want to contribute by showcasing the culture where you come from, in terms of a dish, or in terms of a small talk, or in terms of explaining them what the culture is all about from the place where you have come. So that's the kind of, one of the ways of demonstrating that you are part of the team, that you can share what you know, and you are a good contributor to all the problems that the team is trying to solve. And remember, there's a very old saying which is even true even today, and it will remain true for even for the centuries to come, is our parents have told time is gold. Yes, the time is gold. People respect time, which means if you have agreed to attend a meeting, or if you have set up an interaction with somebody at a particular time, let's say at 9 o'clock, they expect you to show up at 9 o'clock, whether it is in person or virtually or any other means. They expect you to show up at 9 o'clock, not late. But yeah, there can be some instances the other person might come late, or you might be late to your appointment. for several reasons. It could be because of unexpected traffic. There might be a crash on your way, and that delayed your driving, or probably you might have missed the bus at 8 o'clock that will make you attend the meeting on time at 9 o'clock. So, but as I said, the politeness, we discussed about politeness. It is a minimum a courtesy for us to inform the person whom you are meeting that you might get late because of whatever the reason that is getting you late. So time is gold. So you always make sure that you are attending all your appointments on time, whether when you're seeing your doctor, or you're meeting somebody for business, or you're meeting your teammate for a collaboration or anything. Please show up on time. Make sure that you are showing up on your time. And for any reason, if you're not able to show up either on time, or you couldn't make it that day, you ensure that you are informing the person, and keep them in the loop. That's another way of showing respect to the other person, and respect to their time. Now, we spoke a little bit about celebrating differences. Like I said, when I started my first job, I have seen many people from diverse backgrounds working in that environment, and we had a group lunches, and we have to have our lunch together at a table, and we used to discuss about the authentic dishes that each of us are very favorite about, and the conversations, like the small talk, will mostly happen during the lunch breaks, or during the coffee breaks, or at breakout sessions. So I wish you take that opportunity in building the rapport with the other people, and also promote your own culture from where you have come from, and also respect the other's culture. So that's diversity. So, like I said, the beauty of Canada is not in its landscape, but the beauty of Canada is in its open arms, in welcoming people of different talents, different groups, and from all parts of the world. So that is one opportunity where you will meet to know the entire world from Canada. You may not have to travel the world to know about different cultures. If you are in Canada, that's one opportunity that you can learn from other people. So so and it is pretty common that you might see people from a formal to a casual spectrum. So I'm talking this point in terms of how you dress yourself. So it might be pretty common that when you walk into a bank or any other customer facing environment, you might see people wearing a three-piece suit, well dressed, neatly groomed, of that kind. So maybe at some other places you might see people with more casual attire, with more approachability in a casual manner than a formal setting. Now you might see these differences, which are pretty common, but it is important that you dress more comfortably because of the weather conditions, and because of uh, the weather keeps changing quite often, and Canada is a country where the most part of the year is cold, and people who come from different parts of the world may not be as comfortable as the locals here. So it is important to dress according to the weather, and which is more comfortable to you. So which means the workplaces encourage, unless you are working with an external clients, and want to portray a professional outlook, you're not expected to wear a blazer or anything every day to work. So you likewise, you also don't want to wear bermudas or shorts to work like you go to a beach, right? So you be mindful about wearing comfortable clothes that keep you comfortable all through the day, because I learned this hard way when I started my first job in winter. So all the interiors are heated, so it is very hard for you to have too much of clothing inside the office. But when you step out, as you travel back to home or traveling to your office, you want to withstand the cold that is outside. That means you still have to have that layers of clothing, which may not be appropriate inside the office environment, but you may want that as you travel outside. So it is important for you to carry the necessary clothing that you can take off when you reach office in the washroom, and put them back in your bag, and then put them again on when you are stepping out, when you are driving back to home, if you are taking public transport. Right now, if you are having your own car, then you'll just have to manage from the exit door of your office until the parking lot, until you get into your car, and then your car has got the heating system. But not every one of us is not privileged to have car as we land in Canada. So please be mindful that you have appropriate clothing you carry in a backpack or something. So and dress appropriately. Okay, as we progress, let's see. The series is all about how do you cultivate the culture, how do you cultivate success in Canada by adopting 5 micro habits. So, in the next episode, we'll talk about the first micro habit, which is being physically fit.